Assalamu alaikum. Let's cook. People, this story right here is horrible. When I first read it, when I heard about it, I said, you know what, I think I'm gonna bring this to the channel. Although, according to the demographics on this channel, I think most people already have learned these lessons in life, but I'm not sure. There are some younger people as well, but not too young. Or maybe they can get this to somebody, just so that people could be more proactive and know these things go on. And this is out of a place called Morganton or Morgantown, I think Morganton, North Carolina. Jungle fever madness, man. I actually feel very sorry for one of these couples. Two interracial couples right here. Terrible. North Carolina, typical majority, black man, white woman, not saying it's not the other way sometime, but most of the time that's what you want to see if it's a interracial couple, Now we have one interracial couple here that seems to be doing okay, and the other one that looks like they were just on bum time, dirty, junky, drugged out, violent. You can look at the optics and see who was doing better or what couple was doing better. The first couple that's doing a little better, we have a brother by the name of Raheem Murray, age 33, and he's married to a white woman named Carla Murray, age 39. They're married, okay? Now the wife, Carla Murray, right? She had been talking about getting some inheritance money for whatever, I don't know. She'd been talking about it for like a year, letting people know, letting her friends know, co-workers. She's getting $75,000, which is a lot of money, to some people, and it's a lot of money. You could do something with $75,000. But she had been talking about it for like a year. That's a no-no, but she finally got the money right. And again, she told people. She ran her mouth. She told her so-called friend by the name of Tasha Lee Lewis. She's in a relationship. She has kids with this guy here named Jamar Propst or something like that. Let me just call him Jamar. Now you could look at her and tell she's a fiend type junkie, a loser. She's with this dude, Jamar. Jamar is actually out on a murder already. You know what I'm saying? So this is her so-called friend. The two white girls are so-called friends. Now, this Tasha, the bum white chick, she knew that her friend had got the money. She knew her friend has always been a nice person. That's her reputation. So just recently, right, she goes to her friend's house saying that she got in a fight with her boyfriend or whatever. This guy, Jamar, they have children together. She got in a fight with him and on pitiful time or whatever, can I stay here? It might have been something that these two had discussed numerous times before. So to the one white girl, Carla, maybe it wasn't such a big deal. Like, oh, okay, he at it again. Go ahead, you can stay here. You're my friend, something like that. So she lets the girl in the house to stay at her house. Again, she lives with her husband, the other brother. So when she let her in, this girl left the door open so her bummy, violent boyfriend, baby daddy, Jamar, can get in. That was her plan. She got in the house, she went over there late. These two were asleep. She left the door open so he can get in. So when they're asleep, he comes in. Comes in with the gun. Shoots them both in the head. Okay? Shot them both in the head. Then, after they are already dead, used their faces to unlock their phones and drained $19,000 from Carla's Cash App. Cleaned up the scene, dumped their bodies on a nature trail, and then they move in the dead couple's house with their own children. This is supposed to be a friend. It's that cold, yo. She did this to her so-called friend. And then the brother over there, he probably, he's asleep. He probably trusts her to do, oh, this is my friend. She comes over.
Burying them at a park. Our Dave Faraday is live at the Burke County Sheriff's Office. Dave, deputies told you they believe they did this for money.
Yeah, we're finding that out from court documents. We also found out from family members and friends that one of the victims, Carla Murray, had recently inherited a large amount of money, $75,000, and a lot of people knew that.
least for a year prior to this, she was talking about how they were going to get a lot of inheritance.
Dalton Berry worked with Carla and Raheem Murray at the Morganton hemp store, where he says she talked often about getting a large inheritance. But he was stunned to learn that the couple may have been killed inside their home north of Morganton by two people they knew.
That's crazy. It's really something. Honestly, I didn't know what to think when I read it. I thought it was fake at first.
Court documents say the suspects, Jamar Probst and Tasha Lewis, knew the Murrays and that Tasha stayed at their home the night of the murders, unlocking the back doors so Probst could come in and kill them in their sleep. The search warrant says he then accessed their cell phones with their faces post-mortem, and then Lewis transferred $19,000 off of Carla's Cash App account. Investigators later found the bodies buried off a nature trail at a park in Glen Alpine after a park worker found two shovels covered with brush off the trail. We spoke with Carla Murray's mother by phone this afternoon.
If somebody was in trouble or they needed help, she was always there for them. I just can't believe what they done.
And at the time of the murders here in Burke County, Jamar Probst was actually out of jail on another murder case, a high-profile murder case over in Catawba County involving Eddie Green. Scott, I asked about his bond set in that case. It was only $100,000. Reporting live from Morganton, I'm Dave Verity, Channel 9 Eyewitness News.
All right, Dave, thanks for that. And to
Man, give them both the wood chipper, man. Swift. Both the death penalty. Do it swift. No reason for this, yo. I mean, he could have robbed them if anything. If you're going to do that, I mean, they're going to know you did something anyway. You could have robbed them. You could have went over there, and just stuck them up and then, whatever. This is messed up, man. For like $19,000, they did this to them. They trusted these people. But the girl ran her mouth, man. You cannot be running your mouth. Carla, 39 years of age. You're too old for that, yo. You're not supposed to be doing stuff like this. Then she lets her violent, raggedy boyfriend in. Both of them, Tasha and Jamar. Raggedy bums, man. And they move into their house. People, the state of North Carolina, man, this is the state of jungle fever trauma bonds, man. It's almost like, when you look at North Carolina, it's almost like white people don't even befriend or deal with black people unless they on crack or meth or something, or have a alcohol or an addiction. I never heard of many people having wholesome relationships with white people, black and white, from North Carolina, unless the white person is definitely on drugs and a junkie. The black person usually is too, but they ain't gotta be. A black person could be a clean, upstanding person, but due to our low self-esteem and stuff like that, a junkie white friend is good enough as long as they white. The same white people who really wouldn't even deal with black people if they wasn't junkies. Women, men, relationships, all that. These North Carolina trauma bond bum relationships, man. Show me a black person that says, I'm from North Carolina, born and raised, and I got a white friend, and this white person is doing well for themselves in life, and they taking advantage of being white in America, and they put me up on things. Show me that, man, because all I see is crack, methed out, bum white people befriending black people in North Carolina. You ever watch that show? The brother got the channel Real Right and Uncut, or is it called Real Raw and Uncut? Check it out. It's a drug channel, but he shows all these trauma bonds, and they're befriending white people. All the white people are bums on there. And they hang out with black people. You could tell if these white people had their self together, they would not be friends with any black. They got all these white crack kids and bums, and and they hang out with black people and they talk, they friends. It's only because of that, yo. You know what I mean? It's a trauma bond, but it's also another racial dynamic to that too, because they befriend black people who got everything going for themselves, befriend bummy white people as well. I don't see it no different than people that I hear of from North Carolina, man. This is terrible. I had to ask y'all something though about that, because I don't know about those phones and the face thing with the phone. You can see the girl, from what I read, she tried to make her hair like the girl, her friend that she killed as well. Like she tried to do her hair like hers or fix it like hers. But check, I don't know about them face recognized things on the phones, right? Do the eyes gotta be open? If you use the face recognition phone, part of the phone on that phone, what they did, do your eyes gotta be open? Did they Did they have to open their eyes and do that? Yo, like how that work, man? That's cold, yo. I was thinking about, I'm like, yo, did they put a face on them? Like, what? How do they do that? Can you do it with somebody if their eyes are closed? Or do you have to like open up their eyes? Do they have to go through all that, man? I guess it don't even matter because these people are so cold, you know. But listen, man, it's terrible. You got to be prejudiced, man, to protect your life. You know, you got to be prejudiced. You know, somebody like that, you letting somebody stay at your house. If you letting somebody stay at your house now, you got to know who they affiliated with. They can't just be your friend. You laying your head down around somebody going to sleep. They can't just be your friend. You got to know who they affiliated with. So you got to know everything about them. Who you be with? Why are you here? Oh, you with this bum dude? Nah, you can't. No, you cannot be befriending people. And I think that these people are a little too old in the game to be letting that go down like that. You know what I mean? That's just wild. It's too dangerous out here as it is. It's enough stress for people just to live. Nobody got time to be worrying about some junky, violent friends letting up in the crib and she got a boyfriend who violent and he do all this stuff. I mean, it's too much, yo. It's too much. They run up in there and shoot them both in the head like that. I mean, this is crazy. For money. For money, man. It's dangerous enough. But people, get in the comments. Let me know what you think about this. What do you know about this situation right here? Easy.